All right. I call to order this public hearing on the budget of the fiscal year 24-25, scheduled for the council chambers on this day, Tuesday, June 11th, 2023, at 2024. That's okay. At 6:30 PM. Mr. Clerk, can we please have the roll? Call the roll.
Councilmember Enos.
Here.
Councilmember Hamud.
Here.
Councilmember Abraham.
Here.
Councilmember Paris.
Here.
Councilmember El Sawafi.
Here.
Councilmember Herrick.
Here.
Council President Sereni.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Okay, at this time, public comments cards are available on either side. If you can fill them out, they have all the information. You can bring them forward to our clerk, and we take them in the order that they've come. If you don't want to fill out a public comment card, you're more than welcome just to be acknowledged by the chair, by myself, and I'll let you come up during the public comment to speak. Just keep in mind, is there a 3-minute limitation? And keep it, of course, to this meeting, which is specifically for our budget 24-25. Okay, to consider, today we're here to consider and take action concerning the proposed fiscal year 24-25 budget and the 2024 city tax rate pursuant to the requirement contained in section 2-517 of the city code. The purpose of the meeting of the city council is to adopt the fiscal year 24-25 budget and the 24 city tax rate. The mayor delivered a balanced budget this year to the Dearborn City Council. The council held several meetings, 8 of them, with city departments reviewing the budget. We also fulfilled the public hearing requirement, and a public hearing was held on June 6, 2024. Therefore, we are here tonight to vote on the adoption of the proposed tax of the budget and the tax rates. Our finance director, Michael Kennedy, is here, and he's in attendance to answer any questions. He's also going to give us a brief synopsis as he did in the past. So, Mr. Director Kennedy.
Good evening, Council President. It's a glorious day.
Thank you.
Michael Kennedy, Finance Director, thank you. Excuse me. So we talked about this at the public hearing, but I'm just going to reiterate it. The 25 budget is delivered to the council, and it's the words I used to characterize it was successful, appropriate, and balanced. We held a multiple work sessions where multiple stakeholders could be involved. The proposed budget is balanced for the second consecutive year. There are no increases for tax millage rates. They're flat. The fund balances and outlook for the city are within appropriate reserves that are strong. We've met the actuarially determined contributions per legislation, and also the post-employment health care contribution for the second year in a row. And we did this with our new tools of Google, which assisted with our efficiency and the security of our documents and not having to handle things multiple times. The other item I was going to go over is the executive summary,
Yes.
which is on page 2. Excuse me, page 1. It's the one that has the red, green, and blue, or green, red, and blue, I should say. So the green section is the general fund, showing a proposed revenue and other financing sources of $148,131,186, and proposed expenditures and other uses of $147,957,554, leaving a surplus of $173,632. The red middle section is the all funds combined, excuse me, showing revenues and other financing sources of $385,719,177, and expenditures of $373,613,844, showing a surplus of $12,105,333. The bottom section, as I stated, shows your tax rates. They're scheduled to be levied, and they are flat year over year with no increase. And I'd be happy to entertain any questions if there are any.
All right, thank you very much. And did you mention the water rates?
I did not.
If you just, it's just always a nice thing.
Sure.
If you don't mind, Director Kennedy, I know that we have it, but just for the public and the record, the water rates are extremely important.
So the water rates are currently in the proposed budget to increase 2.8% year over year. The average cost for an average resident is $226 a quarter. And that's even after we had a nearly 3.1% increase from Great Lakes Water Authority, which is the major item in our budget for getting our product to us and taking away the waste, which is roughly $32 million of the water sewer budget.
All right, thank you. Okay, folks, we need to keep the, if you have to speak with somebody, please take it outside as we're not getting some of the residents to hear fully. Director Kennedy, is your microphone phone on green?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so thank you for that presentation. So for at this time, I'd like to open it up to my council, and then our Jackie, if you have any cards regarding budget, okay, if they're not, just if they're budget, let me know. So regarding the budget, for my colleagues, if we have any questions, I know we had many requests. I do think there was significantly less requests this time than last time, which is, I think, a testament to our ability to work together on the getting what's most important for our residents, which is a balanced budget, and to keep our taxes, hold the line on taxes by not increasing them again. So I'd like to open up for my colleagues from budgetary questions. No question? All right.
Comment, no question.
Yeah, the comments we're going to go right before the vote. Definitely comments right up there. Okay. Thank you, Director Kennedy. Oh, sorry. Okay, any other comment cards regarding budget? Okay. So at this point, I'm sure that many of my colleagues would like to speak regarding the budget and the process, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up myself, and then kick it over to our colleagues, and then we'll go from there regarding it, okay? So, of course, I'd like to thank our department heads, directors, finance director Kennedy, and Jiraki, of course, Corey Jiraki as well, our legal department, and of course, our staff that's done a great job for the budget. When you consider where we were just a few years ago, our residents voted down a millage that created a $16.7 million shortfall. So it's with great pride for us to stand here today and tell our residents that we have a balanced budget. Not only is it balanced, but we're contributing $173,000 to our reserves. Some of the major successes I'd like to highlight is that we had no cuts to our Dearborn Police Department, which now has over 188 officers ready to protect and serve our residents. We also have been expanding our police department with an all-new drone program. This is leading the state. And just to give you some examples, it has heat-seeking technology, which actually found a lost person in our U of M wooded area. And this is a tremendous feat for our police department. So the police department is not only protected and serving, but it's growing and staying on top of technology. We're very, very proud of that. Our fire department currently has the highest personnel in our city history, 151 members. We also take it very seriously regarding our senior citizen population and our ambulance runs. That's why this council, along with the mayor and administration, have funded 8 brand-new ambulances. So our equipment is very sophisticated and is on a regular regimen of replacement. Our DPW, with the creation of our council's last budget, with our Clean Streets campaign, has significantly reduced blight and litter throughout our city. This is something that the council initiated and that has been, the administration has embraced. I'd like to thank them very much for their work, and they are fully staffed now with trucks. So regardless if the blight is on a county road or a state road, if it's in the city of Dearborn, we're gonna make sure that it's cleaned up, okay? We also, in our DPW, have insured and budgeted for returning to a past practice of grading our alleys on an annual basis. This is something that has not been done in years, and we are now doing that on a regular basis through our budgeting and a commitment from our mayor and the DPW staff. We also were able to continue successfully our council connection newsletter, which is our first of a kind. This is the second edition, and I'm proud to say that it was received very well. A lot of information this is delivered to the house. Every resident receives one of these twice a year. Last year was an experimental, and we budgeted this year as well, so it's continuing. So we're very proud of that as well. Our water rates are something that are very sacred to many people. And if you follow along, over the last council, I voted twice against the previous water rates. I'm very pleased that this council and this administration has continued with charging the residents appropriately on the water rates, which is based at what you use, 78% of your use and 28% of your fixed cost. That was very important in the past. You were rewarded for more use, and businesses that were using high amount of water were saving over $1 million. That has been corrected, and we're staying on the same course. We also have to hold responsibility to GLWA, which, as our finance director indicated, is our authority that handles the water. They have increased the rates by 3.1%. Now, we were able to hold ours down to our residents to approximately 2.8, as the director indicated. So that's something that's looked very favorable upon, not to overcharge our residents for basic services that are much needed, such as the water. Our grants department, as I highlighted in the past, this is something new under the new administration and the 34th City Council actually creating this department with the mayor. But pleased to say, along with the fire chief, we got to give him himself and our director, Torty from ED, and also the mayor doing their own grants, along with our grants department. I'm pleased to say that this fiscal year, over $37 million what grant dollars were brought back to the city of Dearborn. Folks, for residents to understand, what that does is reduces the burden on our taxpayers and allows us to do things like you're seeing in the parks that are being transformed and other things that we can do with funding that we don't have to take from our taxpayers. So it's a great department that's doing very well. I think there's one person, department of two now, and $37 million for this fiscal year back to the Dearborn taxpayers. So with that being said, I believe the future is extremely bright, and I'm very confident in Dearborn's potential. Working alongside with the mayor and the council, this is our third cycle together. The fact that it is getting more streamlined shows you that what's happening is that we align in the same manner. We do not believe in overspending. We do not believe in spending more than we take in, and we do not believe in not paying our bills, including our health and retirement that we are owed to our employees and retirees, which since the mayor has taken over, we have made our necessary payments, required payments, and actuary payments on time, which was not the case in the past. And we did not short them. We have made them on time. And we've also made them to the full extent of what is required in what they call the actuary reports. These are what are told to us of what we need to fund so that when our retirees retire, they will have what is due to them. So I'm very pleased that has also occurred for the third year. And I'd like to thank everyone again for being here tonight and for this budget process. Councilman Enos.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to start by acknowledging the mayor and the staff for putting together a comprehensive and responsible and balanced budget. I would also like to acknowledge all our department heads, our legal department, and our city clerk for their hard work on their budgets, and to recognize my colleagues for their questions and for helping me gain a better understanding of the budget process. Last but not least, a big thank you to our council staff, Rami, Kara, Connie, and Jackie, for getting us all the information we request and their hard work. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Enos. Anyone? Councilwoman Herrick?
Thank you, Council President. I appreciate Councilman Enos's acknowledgments to our staff and the city administration. It makes it so much easier for those of us up here who we face difficult decisions every week, every month, but it's so much easier when the administration comes to us with a balanced budget. And then there's some negotiating back and forth of, where we might want to see further monies allocated to benefit our residents. But as a result of all of our efforts, we are all striving for the same goal, and I think that we all see it, the people in the room here today and whoever might be watching on television, that Dearborn is a desirable place to live and work and come to school, and a place that we can be proud to call home. In particular, I wanted to note our budget also acknowledges our retirees' needs. It was very difficult last year. We had a very difficult decision brought to us regarding our retiree health care. Council has been able to set aside additional funds that if a retiree is in a difficult financial situation and is in need of help with their health care, we're able to help more of those retirees going forward. And our current employees, Dearborn's a desirable place to live or to work. Our police and our fire in particular are appreciated every day by our residents because that's the thing we know is top priority for our residents is public safety. But in addition to that, all the departments across the city have been combining part-time jobs and making them into full-time jobs with full benefits for employees, again, making Dearborn a great place to work. And in this competitive environment with other cities around us, that's a benefit for our residents as well, when we know that we're getting top quality employees coming here to work in our city. I also would like to reiterate Council President's comments towards supporting our businesses through grants and our staff that is working in our business development. We have liaisons working in our neighborhoods and for our businesses, and that's something that's working out really well for our business owners and for our neighborhood associations that are seeing the liaisons working with them, and I'm glad that we're able to continue to develop those programs. So again, thank you to the administration and my colleagues on council for all of our collaborative efforts on the budget.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Paris.
Thank you, Council President. I know a number of our council members have already made some acknowledgments to the administration and our staff and to all our employees, really, that are trying a very difficult jobs and trying very hard to go ahead and make this a better place to live, to be able to have a business, and for everybody to prosper, and making great neighborhoods. What I'd like to say, though, just going off on a little bit, is I want to make sure that people understand and the administration understands that me personally, and I don't want to speak just for my council members, our role is to hold the administration accountable for some decisions that are made. And it's very difficult, and sometimes these meetings and sometimes the budget meetings have had a tendency to become a little bit heated or some, what I would say, loud discussion, but it's everyone working from the heart to try to do what's right for this city, you know, for all of our residents and all the businesses. I'm gonna come right out and say, I think this council has done an extremely good job making a point with the administration and with our workers that the Clean Streets initiative that has been brought forward in the future, this city has seen some better days in the past as far as what it looks like and what some of the infrastructure has been in the past, but I know that there's been some great strides to go ahead and improve that infrastructure that supports the services that we are providing to our community. We've hired more inspectors. We've got a crew out there that this council, under our leadership of our council president, initiated also to have more people out there picking up the trash, and I commend the administration for even having the wherewithal to think, you know what, it's a good thing to go ahead and hire these people as workers to go ahead and pick up trash full-time, but it's also a means to go ahead and try out these employees and maybe give them other opportunities to be hired in other positions. And therefore, that we can go ahead and backfill that position with other people kind of at an entry level to see what the city's all about and the needs of the community by picking up the trash. Because we know what's out there. Believe me, we all get complaints. I get complaints quite often. We're trying, and I think we're going to do better here in the future. I'm also want to make sure that we hold the administration accountable, that we have infrastructure, we have parks. We need to maintain those parks. We need to look long-term into the future, not just immediately this budget, the next budget, what are we going to do to make sure that we can maintain our services at a high quality for a sustainable period of time into the future. And we have great police and fire services, but every single department and everything that I do too can stand for some improvement. So I thank you all for being here tonight, and I am very, very thankful for the work that everybody has done on this budget. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Pierce. Anyone else from my colleagues? Okay, at this time, is there any cards?
Mr. President.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Councilman. Yes, go ahead, Councilman. Councilman Al-Sawafi.
Thank you, Council President. For those of you at home probably wondering why I'm on Zoom, I'm a member of the Army National Guard, and part of that commitment is to conduct a 2-week annual training that's conducted in up north Michigan. And it's part of the tasks that we do in training to help soldiers really take a deep dive into their training and understand their skills. So that's why I'm on Zoom. But as far as the budget, I just want to take a moment to highlight the collaborative effort that brought us to this point to adopt this budget. This budget, to me, is a testament to the strong partnership and cooperation between the City Council, the clerk, the mayor, and his administration. We work tirelessly to ensure that this budget reflects our vision and commitment to enhancing the quality of life of all Dearborn residents. I'm particularly proud that this is a balanced budget, the second year in a row, something that we haven't seen in a very long time. This achievement is a clear indicator of our fiscal management and strategic planning. It reflects our collaborative dedication, not to only maintaining, but also improving the financial health of our city. To me, this budget and its vision effectively utilizes the community development block grants, which is something that I hold dear to my heart. It's essential that we use these dollars to uplift our low-income residents, particularly through initiatives and programming. This budget also acknowledges the need to address the issues of ordinance enforcement. Chronic violators tarnish the image of our city, and we must take a firm stand to ensure compliance and to maintain the beauty and order of the city of Dearborn. The mayor also shares this vision, and last week alone, his team did a blitz in one side of the city and issued over 250 or violations. And the administration is continuing enforcement and will continue, especially as we hire more enforcement positions out in the field. This budget also highlighted tough topics, such as the reduction of fire and EMS run times. It's imperative to me that we develop a comprehensive plan to bring these response times down, especially in areas where they are consistently higher than other areas or the national average. And this is not just about numbers, it's about the safety and the well-being of our residents. And this concern is not left unanswered and without progress. This administration, with the support of the council, has secured the highest staffing ratio to date with over 150 firefighters, and we're continuing working on a long-term solution to address this issue. So I believe this budget embodies our shared vision and dedication to making a significant difference in the lives of our residents and the future of our city, and I'm happy to support it. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Al-Sawafi. Councilman Hammoud.
Yeah, so I think, I'm not going to repeat what my colleagues said, but a lot of it, I share the same sentiments. I mean, we're all there together and we discussed all these during the budget. I think for me, since day one of the big items has been the long-term fiscal viability of the city. I think, as some of you may remember at home or here, when we first walked in, we found out about all the paving over in the budget with one-time dollars, and the long-term fiscal viability of the city was in jeopardy. We thought we walked in with a $17 million deficit, turned out to be a $26 million structural deficit. So since day one, us and the administration have been working to do our best to try and deliver the same level of Dearborn services that everyone's accustomed to, while also meeting the obligations that the city has financially. We're not trying to be like other cities that go out of business and, end up causing issues for retirees, pensioners, things like that. And you know what? We had to make some tough choices over the past couple of years. And so far, I think we've emerged overall unscathed. And I think people can say today that their city services are at least similar to as they were a couple of years ago, while we're still operating on, 15, 20%, even less money than we used to have. We're going to continue down that path. I think so far we found that the administration is very helpful. I found my colleagues are very on point with this. And the one thing I always will harp home on is, the long-term maintenance obligations we have as a city, and the long-term planning that we have in order to emerge as a 21st century city that is friendly to the workforce that needs to live here and is friendly to the people who still live here for generations before and generations to come. So I think overall, while it seemed kind of like an uneventful budget because we didn't have any big catastrophes to deal with, that's a good thing because we've been always thinking long-term about the city and we'll continue to do that. So I really appreciate all the work that you guys did and that the administration did on helping us deliver this year's annual budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Okay, at this time, Chief, from the administration, you have something you'd like to add?
Yes, Council President, thank you very much. I think I'm going to get used to all the compliments from council with the administration, so much appreciated. But all seriousness, I'd like to first start off by thanking our finance team. Our finance director has earned himself the title of the People's Finance Director, Michael Kennedy. And I think with his deputy, Corey Jiraki, they themselves, with all the directors, collaboratively worked together to ensure that we had in front of you a balanced budget. I think the mayor was very clear as when he assumed office that we would continue to be true to being fiscally responsible, being transparent and collaborative. And the collaboration is not just amongst directors and the finance team to ensure that we do have a balanced budget that's responsible, that ensures that we provide the best of service to our residents because that's the Dearborn standard and one that we know all very well. And the collaboration with this council. I will just anchor on, and I appreciate Councilman Paris's response or comments around the accountability of the administration. But I will say on behalf of the mayor and this administration, before anybody holds us accountable, we hold ourselves accountable. And I hope that is something that gives you all ease and our residents ease, that we don't make decisions, we don't take decisions lightly. They're well thought out. They put the residents first above all. And that's what you have in front of you today, a second balanced budget, which we're extremely proud of. So I'd be a very bad chief of staff if I wasn't able to just look at the team out there right now and say thank you very much for all the directors that are out in the audience, to our finance team who've done a phenomenal job, and because I can, because he's not here, our mayor, who's led this team for the past 2.5 years, and one that I think all of us can say that we're extremely proud of, and someone who has brought honor and respect to this position and will continue to do so to serve the residents of the city of Dearborn. So I would like to again thank the council and the council staff, Jackie, who's the MVP, Rami, I don't know what we would do without you all. Just thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because we couldn't have done this without the council and its amazing team. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief, appreciate that. So at this time, before we get an offer, I just want to make one more scope to it. If there's anyone here to speak regarding the budget only, because we're going to close and then go into the regular meeting, anything regarding the budget from the audience? Because we have no cards, correct? Okay. So at this time, do we have an offer to adopt the budget and city tax rates as presented? The motion has been offered by Councilman Hammoud and supported by Councilwoman Herrick. Any questions or comments? Okay, Mr. Clerk, can we have a roll call vote?
Yes, Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
Councilmember Hammoud.
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham.
Yes.
Councilmember Paris.
Yes.
Councilmember El Sawafi.
Yes.
Councilmember Herrick.
Yes.
Council President Sereni.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas. The budget for fiscal year 24-25 passes.
Okay, and then at this time, if there's no other business for this meeting, there's no requirement for offer for adjournment?
No.
Yeah, you have to close the hearing.
So, okay, so we need to note that, Jackie, just for the closing. Okay, so at this time, any offer to close the meeting, the special public, okay. Offer by Councilman Paris. Okay, we are adjourned for that meeting. We'll move